don't wanna do it no more time. I want you to see me fine.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WillPower UnSurfaced. I'm your host, Khadijah Sims, along with my host, Baynes.
Hello.
And how is everyone doing today? It is Monday again. And we are live from Glockaware Radio. We don't have a guest this week, so you guys, y'all are our guests once again.
So
And we
call in and talk to us.
We wish that you would call in.
Let your voice be heard.
If we don't have a guest, call in and talk to us. We would love to hear from you. So tonight we're just going to talk about, a few things. And it was something that I wanted to talk on today about when you're trying to pursue your dreams. A lot of times when we're trying to pursue our dreams or we're going about something that we want to do, we don't really put a lot of effort into it. Mm-hmm. We say we want these things, but we're not willing to go the extra mile to get them. Let's just say that.
That's true.
Now, for me, I'm writing a book. I've been writing this book for a few years now. Like, honestly, I've been writing this book for a few years. And I start in the book, and I get to a certain point, and then I get stuck. Mm-hmm. Hey, G, I get stuck. And it's like, I have a couple, I can get a few, I might get a chapter or two in, and then I'm stuck again. I don't know which direction I want to go. So, and what my book is about, which I will not reveal because I'll wait and let you guys read the book yourselves, or when I start doing, I'm going to do like readings on my book when I'm finally done. Mm-hmm. But I was getting stuck, like constantly getting stuck. So I decided to take a class, and it's something that was coming up on the internet, and they had like celebrities, and they were teaching these classes. And I thought about it like, I don't know, because, everybody wants you to spend money on stuff.
Right.
So I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to spend the money on this or not. I have other things that I want to spend money on. Like I have, other platforms where my people are helping you get ahead in things too. Mm-hmm. And so I was juggling about, should I take this class right now? Should I pay for this? And it wasn't that much. It was only a couple dollars. So Rafika's like, why don't you just go ahead and take the class like you need it? Why don't you just order it? So I ordered it. I ordered the class. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, it was the best thing I could have ever done. Mm-hmm. I literally have like teachers that I don't personally know, mm-hmm. but authors and book writers who are actually teaching you how they got through with their books. Mm-hmm. And they also give you so much insight, because sometimes when we're doing things and it's taking us a long time, we might not think we're doing good at it. We might think that we're failing.
Right.
Because we're so used to doing everything microwave fast. And by me working on this book for so many years and not getting as far as I felt like I should have gotten by now, I kind of thought like I ain't going to say failing, but I kind of just got like complacent. Mm-hmm. So then when I started taking the class and I started listening to what the authors were saying, there was this one particular author, he wrote Devil in a Blue Dress, and he was saying how it took him 20 years to finish one book that he had started. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't feel, he said that, I said, oh, okay, here we got a high power writer here. Right, and it took him 20 years, to complete a book. But in the process, he was writing other books at the same time. He wasn't, just didn't just write that book. He was writing other books. And it was like the best thing that I could have ever did, because the authors that are teaching you these, methods on how to get over writer's block and things like that, they have already written countless bestsellers, countless books. The information was like, it was like priceless to me. Mm-hmm. It was so many things that I didn't know whether I was doing things the right way. Sometimes when you're writing, you don't know if things are running on or how certain things should be structured. Mm-hmm. And it was like taking the classes and just sitting and listening to these authors. It helped me so much to get out of my rut. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, oh, okay. So it's not crazy that I started writing this book all these years ago and I ain't finished yet. And I thought like to me, I guess in my mind, because I haven't finished a book. So in my mind's eye, I'm thinking you need to get this book done in a year and have this book out. And then that's not really reality. It can happen, but most of the time, you don't write a book in a year. Most of the time,
well, let's
takes
just say
some
it
time.
depends on
what you're writing
it
about.
Depends on
what you're writing about.
What you're writing
Right.
about. So your subject matter, of course,
And then
is
my subject matter
important.
is not like something. It's like, I will say my book is a thriller. And so because it's a thriller, it's going to take me lots of research to get it to exactly where I want to be at. But it'll be good.
Oftentimes we put ourselves in a box and we confine ourselves to a particular time frame. But just notice you're not stuck. You're not late.
Right.
And this is why I often say we often say whatever is in you, just to go on and to get it out. There are some things that that is within us that we have to get out.
Right.
So the thing is that you're doing it. You started the process, and now you're working on it, and it's going to come out.
I can't wait.
But how about this? How about give yourself a deadline? And we have many teachers,
Right.
and all of them are not up close and personal. So you invested in yourself. That's a form of self-care, because now you're doing something that's going to impact your future.
Right.
So stay at it. Stay the course.
So I really love it. Like, so I'm really like excited now. I'm just like excited to just like go listen to the classes and get all the information that I'm getting it, because it's really good for me and it's really helped me say, oh, okay, go in this direction, go in that direction. Because some of the things I wanted to do, like I really wanted to get out and talk to people who may have insight on the topics that I'm talking about in my book. But I didn't think it was, should I?
Right,
You know,
right,
like
right.
walk up to a stranger and say, listen, hey, you, come here. I need to ask you some questions. But he's like, yeah, you need to go do that. Like, you need to go ask this person if this person is a stranger, but they have information on the topic that you're writing about and you want to know about that topic. You need to go out and reach out to those people. You need to go ask them questions, and don't be afraid to go ask a stranger something. Just walk up to them and ask what they gonna say. Yes, yes or no. You know,
or if somebody that, depending on what the particular field of study is, you make an appointment and see. And then some folks want to be paid for their time, compensated, and some people just be like, just take me out to dinner, or if you say, hey, I want to pick your brain. Can I take you out to lunch? And you don't take them to Chili's or anything like that. You spend some money. When someone has a wealth of knowledge and they are where you want to be, then you invest in them. You take them out to where you aspire. Take them to where they're used to eating at. You take them to where they're used to eating at. So if they eat at Del Frisco's or that's where you take them. Don't take them to Applebee's, because if it was me, I would be offended.
I don't want nobody to take me to Applebee's.
No, I can't stand Applebee's.
So
don't take me to Apple. Don't even suggest. Listen, don't suggest Applebee's, Chili's, Longhorn. None of that. Do not suggest that stuff to me, because I would say, in the most humblest way, I understand that might be your preference, but it's not mine.
That's not you would have did better if you would have said $5.
Okay. Just do not mention those places to me. I'm very particular. Or take them to a good BYOB that has really great food, and sit down and talk to them and go prepared. And I know we mentioned this before when we had a guest and we were talking about mentorship. Be prepared with a list of questions that you want to have. But you can just jot them down, commit them to memory. I have 5 questions that I need answered. And if you want to put the notes in your phone as they're talking, that's fine.
Right.
But the thing is, you're going to get the information, make valuable use of their time and your dollar.
Yes.
Because your dollars is just as valuable and important as their time. And most people hate to have their time wasted.
Yes.
So this will often say, if you have a mentor or you're looking for a mentor and you're serious about it, do not waste the mentor's time. If you are not ready to be a good mentee, an attentive mentee, and ready to complete the assignments or whatever it is that they're going to tell you, whether you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it, then you're not ready. You're not ready. So find somebody else. But again, if you want to seek out some information and, you find the person and you say, hey, let's do lunch.
Right.
It's on me.
Right.
That might be the best $200 that you spend in 6 months?
Listen, sometimes because I know me, sometimes I can be cheap. I'm just going to be honest. But what I realize is when you want something, right, and you are really serious about something, you might have to go out there and spend some money. Mm-hmm. But the payoff that you get from what you spent, it's like spend your money wisely. Mm-hmm. If you have a doubt about it, you know what I mean, or it don't seem right, then you might not want to spend your money on it. But if it's something that you feel like you're really going to get something out of, then you spend your money on it. You know what I mean? And you know, money be tight. So you have to pick and choose your battles. You know, what's more important for you right now at this moment is how I see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, taking the classes and listening to what they were saying, it really, really was like a priceless thing for me to have that information, especially from top-notch authors, especially for a cheap price, like pennies on a dollar at that, to get that kind of wealth of knowledge from professionals who already been there, they're trying to get, like he said, like one of the authors said, we're trying to take the guesswork out of it, so that all the time that I had to put in and all the things that I had to learn and all the mistakes that I had to make, maybe you won't have to make as many mistakes because I'm telling you right now what it is. You know what I mean?
And then I think the other piece for you, that what I would suggest is that you find someone local who's written a few books, creative, or maybe find at community college or another college, one of the creative, the English professors with the creative writing or something like that, and hook up with them. You know, as a mentee, right? Not as a student, just as a mentee. Because that's really and they can guide you. Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You really, because I think having someone who actually, like I have Gloria. Hi, Glo. Thank you. She said my Gloria. Gloria was one of the first people that I talked about when I was really thinking about doing my podcast, and I was telling her like I had the idea that I wanted to do this podcast, and she was like, you should just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just go ahead and take that chance and just go ahead and do it. And and she was encouraging me a lot to start my podcast, and I started my podcast, and her and I were just talking, and she was like, like she does a I guess like every morning she gets online for about 10-15 minutes, and she does like morning inspiration. Okay. She talks about people who come on her platform and different things like that. And she did her book. Like, she wrote her book, and her book was finished. And then I got her book and I read it, and I was like, wow. And it was like, finish your book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, finish the book, girl. Right. Stop playing with the book. Finish it. You know what I mean? And so she really inspired me a lot to go ahead and do that. And she also has, her platform is called the I'm Loving Me Project, but she also has a platform called Girls Leap. And she has where you can pay, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like $15 a month, and she has like mentors, and they will keep you on track. She has people to help you stay accountable for what you're doing, keep you in line, help you with your business, help you grow your business. And mostly, I think if I'm not mistaken, Gloria, right, they're all women.
Okay.
And they're all showing you, and they all have their own stories to tell.
Okay.
But they're also mentoring people and telling people.
That's good.
And
That's
so
good.
her platform. So if you're looking for something like that, because I'm about to get on that too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because for me, I noticed with myself personally, it's structure for me. I'm all over the place. So I had to be honest with myself. Like, I'm over here trying to do this. Then I'm over here trying to do this. Then I'm writing this. And I'm doing this. And then I'm taking care of this. And I'm taking care of that. And I really need structure. Structure is like the number one thing that I'm lacking in. Because it's not enough hours in the day sometimes to do all the things that we need to do. As let alone do what we want to do. So having a mentor, and she said, yes, they're all women. Awesome. And having a mentor and having someone be an accountability coach is something that I need, because I'm not ashamed to say, like, I'm a procrastinator. I get started. I have like so many things that I have started, written up. I got half of business plans over here that I have written. I have like, if you could see, I have like stacks of notebooks. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I got a stack of notebooks like this with all kinds of poetry I've written, songs I've written, books I started, just all kinds of notes that I take from different types of things that I visit and seminars and stuff that I go to. I have so many things. But then it's like, you can't do everything at once. You might can do everything,
right,
but you can't do it all at one time. And it's for me, I need an accountability coach. I need somebody to call me and be like, Khadijah, did you get a chance to do that today? You know what I'm saying? Because I might have forgot.
No, that's.
Do you understand
real.
what I mean? I might not
real.
remember.
And as I said to you guys before, I mentioned it that when I did my, I had a mentor for my finances, and every week I had an assignment, and I knew let's say I'm gonna say every Thursday was our day, and I would have a list of things that I was supposed to do, and when that Thursday came, and I would call her, and she dedicated an hour to me, and very rarely did we go over an hour, and I must say, I think I worked with her for a year, maybe a year and a half, and maybe 10% of that time was things that I had not accomplished, that I had not completed my assignment. And it was only because it was like I was looking for an excuse, but she held me accountable, and she said, no, we don't do excuses. If this is what you said you was going to do, you got to remember the end goal. And I stuck it out because I started seeing results. And that's here I go. This works. Sometimes we want, people can be very unassuming. You can be walking by somebody who's a millionaire and you don't even know it.
Exactly.
So, and then sometimes we get turned off by people's attitude or their demeanor when we don't even really know them. And once you get to know them, what you think you're seeing, you're not seeing.
Right.
But it's just like you have to be willing to push you and your biases to the side and really be open and honest and willing to receive what they have.
Right. Because
what they have is life-changing for you. So that's why I tell anybody, find you a mentor. Find you a mentor. It doesn't have to be somebody up close and personal, but as you're doing your classes, online, the master classes and stuff, that's working. But eventually, it's going to come a time you're going to need somebody up close and personal. So you have those guys, Gloria and her team,
right?
Which is perfect, But if you're going to do it again, make sure that you are really invested and that you're serious, because please don't waste people's time and don't waste your money. That's the most important thing. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the mentor's time. Don't waste your money if you're not serious about it. Like my cousin, he called me 2 weeks ago. He said, hey, what are you doing with such and such? And I said, oh, I'm just, and my mind is somewhere else at the moment. And I haven't called him back. He said, well, I got what you need. And I said, okay. So I think I'm going to call him next week. I'll give myself this week, and I'll tell him next week, hey, this is a business venture that I wanted to do. And he's like, I got what you need, so I got you. I'm like, all right, cool. So now I know the steps that I have to take to do it. And it's just like you got to take the leap.
Right.
So I got to take a leap and just go on out there and just jump off the edge and let it fall where it may. Because I ain't going to fall too much. I'm going to fly. I'm going to flap these darn up. And my wings, okay?
And you know what? And that reminds me, and Gloria was saying that, you have to do something that, you have to ask yourself, what do you have that no one else has that you can contribute when you're out there? What can you give that will give you the greatest return, basically, is what she's saying. And she also said, look up something called the Petro Principle. So I'm going to look that up, whatever that is. But
the Petro Principle, so you guys that are listening, we're talking about mentorship. We're talking about pursuing your dreams, that it's never too late for you to pursue your dreams. And whatever it is you want to do, get it out.
And even if it's hard, the other day when I was listening to Glow, she lives down south. She lives like near Atlanta. And she said she was out walking. And she was walking in the woods or whatever. on her trail. It was like trees or whatever. She said she heard this noise, and it was like a crazy, strange noise, like an animal was being hurt or something. So she kind of was looking around. She said she looked up in the tree, and it was a bird, like a mother bird. It was trying to help the baby birds fly. And I guess whatever the mother bird was doing to the bird's wings or whatever, it was painful. And she was kind of like pushing the birds out the nest. And I guess if they didn't look like they were flapping their wings enough, she would pull them back. And it was like, she was comparing it to like parenthood and just like mentoring and just like anything that you want to do in your life, it's probably going to be uncomfortable.
It is.
And
definitely.
even with this mother bird, the birds were screaming because the way Gloria was, describing it was like these birds was like screaming like they was dying. But it was the mother trying to teach them how to fly. And although it might have been uncomfortable, she had to do what she had to do. Now, birds going to just do that. It made me think about us as parents. We get to a point where sometimes we want to make everything comfortable for our children. We don't want them to go through no pain, especially if we've been through a lot of pain or we've been through a lot of hardship. We want to, protect each other and protect our children from the pain without putting in the hard work. That's the whole thing. You're not going to get anything done without a little bit of growing pain.
Right.
You're not going to get anything done without some hard work. And that just was nature just showing you at its best. If the mother didn't do whatever she was doing to that bird, whatever that she was doing to that bird, it was screaming. It was in pain. But she didn't let the bird fall out the tree. She didn't let the bird fall out the sky. You understand what I'm saying? She pushed it out there, and if it wasn't doing what it needed to do, she pulled it back. But she still was teaching it what to do. And that's something that a lot of us as parents don't do.
We enable our children.
Yes.
We
enable ourselves.
Yeah, and we're helicopter parents when we shouldn't, because you have to give the child room to grow and to exercise those things which you taught them. Because the only way you're going to know what's in them and that they really got the things that you were teaching them is it got to be tested. It has to be tried. So I totally get it.
And it was like it was such a good lesson for just to hear. Just because that was the last thing I was thinking when she said she heard something. I thought the Bobcat got something. I'm always thinking about mountain lions and some stuff living up in the mountains. So and she said, remember they used to kick you out when you was 18? Yeah, back in the day. Like, right? And I guess that's like,
kick you out and take your name off the lease if they didn't own the house.
The birds got to make the babies cry. Like, the birds going to throw the babies out the nest in order for the babies to fly. If you don't get thrown out the nest or get your wings clipped or whatever that bird was doing to the babies, then you're not going to fly, and it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We do not want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to hear criticism. That's another one of the things that they were teaching in the classes is like, you're going to have criticism. People are going to criticize your work. Everybody is not going to agree with what you're doing. Everybody might not like the genre from which you write with. Everybody may not like the way you word things, your verbiage. But if this is, you write what you want to write, basically. Write what's in your heart. Write whatever you feel that you want to write, and forget what people think. Whether the book becomes a success or not, you wrote the book.
That's it.
You wrote the book. No one else wrote the book. You wrote the book. Because people are quick to be critical, especially when they've never accomplished anything. And that only comes from their own fears.
But we're here to tell you, push your fear to the side.
Push your fear to the side. Don't listen
go
to
for it.
Because I had doubters all my life. Because, people, you always working from this job to the next. You work from one place to another. Well, yes, I am. Because if I don't like it here, I'm not staying here for 10 years while you get on my nerves and give me a stroke. I don't care if you pay $50 an hour. If I don't like it here, I'm not going to die here at this job, because tomorrow after I had the heart attack, you'll be filling my spot. To me, I'm more valuable than that $50 an hour job and my peace and my sanity. Because and for most people, you got a crazy life at home. So if you got a crazy life at home, I'm not about to be in this crazy life at this job. I don't care how much you're paying me. I think that my sanity and me being able to do something that I enjoy doing is more important to me than anything. And that was like one of the reasons why I used to leave jobs. I'm not about to stay here and listen to this. I'm not going to do things first of all, I'm not going to do stuff I don't feel like is right. You might want to stay there and do it. Me, some stuff I'm not good with. You understand what I mean? Some things, once I hear something or see something that makes me feel real uneasy in here, I can't just keep doing it. Some people can just keep doing it, but then it wears on your mind over years and years, and then when you retire, then you're old, raggedy looking, no, Queen gonna be looking good. I'm not about to let these jobs and these people take me to a place where I don't want to be, because at the end of the day, the job that you're working at for them, and we all have to have a job at some point, so I'm not killing a job. What I'm saying is, we should think about what we want first. And we should use our jobs just for what they're for. Now, if this is for you to have a career, then make it a career. But if it's for some place for you to gain your finances while you do something, while you get yourself in order to do something else, then do that. But whatever you do, don't stay somewhere that you hate.
And then this is the other piece to it. Don't go somewhere and create an environment that you make somebody else miserable,
exactly,
because
you
you're
don't want to
unhappy,
be
because
there.
you don't want to be there. So then you move on. Go but then there's a war within you.
Yes.
There's a war within the person that they have to win, and they haven't won it yet. So therefore they come, and this is the thing, you got to remember, you go to work to work. Remember why you're there. They're not your family. They're not even really your friends. They're associates. They're your workmates, your co-workers. So a lot of times the drama picks up and kicks up is because people assume that these people are your family. We can be like family, but when you show your hand and you show people that you really are not for them, then you're no longer family.
Right.
You don't have to be an enemy.
Right.
But then the thing is, you gotta keep it in its proper perspective. Hey, I'm come here to make some money. I ain't even really here to make friends. But then I've witnessed when people aren't the most friendliest, or they keep their business to themselves, then you become a target. And that your coworkers try to make you a target. And if you're not strong enough to combat that,
right.
hey, you got to do what you got to do.
And then you got people coming in, people like FedEx guy. See,
Child, I know bastard.
See, this is the thing. People they get to these jobs and they got all these other things that's going on in their mind. Then they got mental health issues. The job ain't helping. Somebody probably ain't like him at the job. They might have called them names. Who knows?
But wait, his mom called the cops on him a whole year ago for the same stuff, saying that the boy needed some help, and he shouldn't, like, for him to go on the register don't allow him to buy guns.
And they allowed them to buy guns.
So,
See, and his
mom tried at that point, at least she made him aware.
And they let him buy guns. And it was on record that he was mentally unstable. But because he didn't have a record or whatever, because who knows, people just getting guns from all over. They just pull them out, wake up in the mornings under your bed. Like, what the... Like, because I'm trying to figure out where they all coming from. Like, where's all the guns coming from? Just wake up in the morning under your bed. All of a sudden, they're just everywhere. But it's like this kid, now, he done went to work or to that job. I don't know what he got fired from there. Whatever the case, he went in there and then shot up all these people at the job.
And then somebody did the same thing yesterday. 3 people died in Austin, Texas. I think they shot 6 people, 3 died. And then it was somebody, I think it was 3 mass shootings this week. Like, what is going
it's crazy,
on? And everybody is in a mental health case. Some of these people are just evil.
Some people
are just evil.
Yes.
Some people are just evil, and just take yourself on out of here and leave everybody else.
The thing is, people have their own ideals about other people or the way they think life should be. Mm-hmm. And if you don't fit into their category, then you might be the victim from a person who ain't got their shit together, because you might as well say, if you're just going to go out and shoot a bunch of people, you don't have your shit together. I don't care what you thought about in your mind or what you were thinking, but if you go out and do a mass shooting and you kill innocent people, to me, you're not thinking. That to me, that takes another level of insanity to me, because I just can't see myself having a heart. And even if I disagree with somebody on politics, personal issues, whatever, I just can't see myself going in a building and shooting a whole bunch of people. You understand what I'm saying? Because the consequences of that is these people have families. You know what I mean?
That's because you have a moral compass. Everybody don't have it. Everybody don't have it. Everybody didn't grow up with one. And a lot of times, and I said this a week or so ago, that, we create these monsters and we think the stuff that is their behaviors and stuff is cute while it's small, while they're small. But you forget.
They're going to grow up.
That thing got to grow up. That petting is going to have to grow up. And then when it grows up and it becomes a teenager or a young person and you can't do anything with it.
You can't control it.
You can't even guide it and make some suggestions because that monster is going to has turned on you. And now the monster is ready to kick your ass. And, listen, y'all can say what you want. But you have to be an effective parent. And you got to be a balanced parent. Because I'm not doing a whole bunch of talking. I'm tired of talking, okay?
Now it's time to get the stick. And then
I say what I need to say.
But it goes back to when we were young. We got spankings, and I know people like, oh, that's abuse. I don't feel like I got abused when I got a spanking. I didn't have to get that many, first of all, because I didn't like to get hit. But I do know that a lot of times when children were getting spanking, they wasn't disrespectful to parents. They wasn't on the bus cussing out old people. They wasn't in the subway beating old people up. They wasn't attacking people coming home from work and school. And now these kids think that you can, because my granddaughter will be the first to say, well, that's abuse. Well, maybe your ass need a little abusing. Y'all kids want to say something is abuse. You don't even get no spankings, okay?
They don't want you to talk to them rough.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to, everybody is
they
so
want to be pacified.
And so sensitive. Hey, what is going on? Nobody's saying that you have to degrade the child or tear down their esteem. But, you have to figure out how to reach it. What's the best way to reach them? And once you find it and you keep tapping on, and if they still ain't getting it, that's because they're being defiant. Right. So you got to figure out a way to combat that defiance without breaking their spirit. Right. Now, I ain't going to break your spirit, but I'm break your ass. Now, that I am going to do.
Your ass going to get break. Get that ass tapped. And they be like, my daughter be like, Mom, why you ain't beat them? Like, my daughter be like, you wouldn't have let us. And I be trying to tell her, listen, I'm at the grandma stage. My grandmothers did not have to spank me. Like, because my grandparents didn't. They didn't have to discipline me.
Miss Pye was tearing us up. And because it's 3 sets of grandkids, I'm the baby out of all the oldest grandkids, and man, she cooked for us. We had everything from scratch, and she used to say, y'all were good kids. Listen, Miss Pye had the cat o' nine tails belt.
See, I don't know nothing about that.
She was wearing us out, honey. She would line us all up, girl. She would line us. Wasn't nobody getting past her. You wasn't getting past
See,
her.
I'm a 3-generation northerner.
You wasn't getting past her, child. She was tearing us up. But sometimes we deserved it, because, like, I'll never forget, she was downstairs cooking, and she said, y'all stop jumping on my bed. She must have told us about 3 times. Child, we was up there. We was on that second floor because she had a 3-story house. We was making a ton of noise. She walked real soft. Never heard her come up them darn steps, and she pushed that door open, because you can go in her room 2 ways. Child, and she was like, I don't know where y'all think y'all going.
Look, y'all trapped.
We was lined up. Girl, I went in the middle, because I said she gonna get warm. She gonna get tired. And my cousin April was in the bed. April was asleep. Girl, she beat April out that sleep.
Beat that ass woke.
Because April was the oldest. She beat April out that sleep.
She said, you sleeping and letting them run all around you.
Time. She said, but I didn't do nothing. She said, I don't care. You up here with them. So, and we still laugh about that to this day. Right. Lord, have mercy. I mean, like, but she did. She talked to us. She should always say, you guys are good kids. And the next set of grandkids, because it was mostly boys, she was tearing them up too. Ooh, she was tearing them up. She's tearing up. Then the next set, she got a little lenient.
Right.
They would just catch a backhand every now and then, because she real quick with it. Child, but that was, I was appreciative of that, because she didn't, she had to beat us all the time. But honey, when she was whooping her up, she was tearing us up now. She was tearing us.
Y'all must have been terrible getting those spanking by your grandmother. See, I always wanted. I didn't want my grandma to spank me, and the one time she did, the one time I can remember her hitting me, you would have thought that I died because I performed. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this lady hit me. Let me just fall out and be dramatic because I was dramatic as a child. So, so I wasn't into getting no spankings. That wasn't my thing.
And my dad he used to smoke Newports, and he had some stale cigarettes, and I'll never forget this. This is why I don't smoke. I went in my mom's room, and cigarettes was on the dresser, and I took one out the box because I used to get the box. And I smoked the Newport. And I don't know how he found, when he came home from work, I don't know how he knew I took a cigarette.
You could smell it. You didn't know that as a child. You didn't know that as a child, okay?
He said, oh, you want to smoke? I said, I didn't smoke. He said, no, you want to smoke. So, girl, he went and bought a fresh pack of Newports.
That happened to my brother. Brother, where you at?
Girl, I smoked myself to sleep, okay? I had to smoke. I was a chain smoker for about an hour. I say, you don't lie.
Yes.
My aunts tease me about that to this day.
They did that to my brother. I think they made him chew a cigarette or something.
I don't smoke to this day. I don't want no cigarettes. I don't want no parts of it. I don't like the smell of it. No, thank you. No, thank you. He said, no, you finished? All right, come on, I'm going to light another one. I sat where he said, you sit right there. I sat on the floor and smoked. He beat me. You want to smoke?
Cause you want this gonna beat you right here. This nicotine about to tear that in. You probably was dizzy and everything. And smoked about 10 cigarettes. You don't even know what hit your life. What in the world? You thought it was all fun and games.
I just knew. I'm like, how he missed one cigarette? One cigarette.
Never knowing that nicotine smell that told on you before you even
had to be about 10. I'll never forget that. I'll say, what in the world?
It was only one cigarette.
One cigarette, and it was stale. How you getting upset over a stale cigarette?
The smell was probably strong because the cigarette was stale. That's probably the first thing he noticed when he walked in the door was like, do I smell a cigarette? Do I smell a damn? Because kids is, because my daughter, when I caught her smoking, because kids is, you don't think. You think you're doing something slick. And this is how I found out she was smoking. She still do this to this day. She still smokes cigarettes. Don't ask me why she does this, but she take the cigarette apart and put it back together and all kinds. And she had it hidden inside the screen. You know how you lift the screen up in the grooves? Well, underneath, inside the screen door, inside the screen, she didn't put the screen all the way down. Oh. She put the cigarette in the groove and then put the screen like down, but not to smash it. And one day I just happened to be going in her room looking for, I smelled when I got to the window. I'm like, don't I smell a cigarette? Because I'm about to be nosy and lift up the and the cigarette was in there. I said, nah, do you smoke cigarette? No. Well, why is a cigarette in your room? I don't know. Oh, Rashida must have left that there. Now, Rashida was at the house, but I knew Rashida ain't leave that cigarette there. I just knew that it wasn't Rashida. That's how I found out she was smoking.
I'm telling you.
The child, these kids.
And see, that was effective, without him beating me. It was effective, it was his way.
Look, she was already a smoker by the time I caught her. So if I would have gave her 10 cigarettes, she probably would have been like, thank you.
What is going on here? I can't with this.
Shoot.
I can't. This is hurting me. I can't with this thing. Like I said, that's why I don't smoke to this day. So it's important to find ways and find a way to reach a child. My dad, since I grew up with a two-parent household, he would yell at me. Just the sound, he would put that bass in his voice. Oh my God! And that thing would just go through me and it would startle me. And he said, I'll never forget. I said, I wanted to go somewhere. He was like, hey, get your ass back in here by midnight. Because if I come looking for you, I'm going to embarrass you right out there in the street. And he would have too. He was on the step at 11:55? Me. My friend said, come on. I said, no.
You wasn't.
See, y'all
like
don't know.
me.
Y'all
I
got the nice. Y'all know the nice version of him. I know the psycho version of him. So, I try to keep him even kill.
See, my mom ain't do too much hitting. My mom did what I hated the most, grounding me. Because listen, I lived in the project. Stuff was going on. I needed to be outside to see what was going on. And I ain't live on the side of the projects where all the fun was at. I lived on what they call in Wilson Park, the paradise side. Wasn't no damn paradise. There wasn't nothing going on over there because everything was going on the other side. So, what Sheila would do was, you can't go out. And it wasn't nothing worse than somebody coming back to tell you what happened in front of yo-yos. And you couldn't be out there. I hated punishment. My mom would put me on punishment. I couldn't watch no TV. She know I love my music, and I was in the house making my mixtapes from Power 99. Wasn't gonna be no mixtapes jumping off. That's what kept me alive. No. I ain't had to get spanked. If I knew I had to stay in, I got to go. Because I think I would have rather get a spanking if you was gonna let me go outside.
Listen.
You could have beat me, and I would have been sore for a little while, but I wouldn't have missed the party.
Listen, my mother was tearing us up, girl. I ain't gonna lie, my mother was tearing us up. But it's just, and another case, and I thought this was extreme. I still to this day feel like this is extreme. Me and my cousin was in the bathroom lighting toilet paper.
Oh shit! Now I got in trouble for that. Now
no, we lighting toilet paper. and my little cousin, she told it. She said, She said that, hey, beautiful. She said, my aunt said, I smell smoke, smell matches. And me and Michelle said, ain't no matches, ain't nothing. And my cousin said, oh, they lighting toilet paper and stuffing it down the sink. So my uncle takes my cousin upstairs and tears her hands up with like a ruler or something. So I get the beating, the real beating. Right. My aunt. I went hid underneath my grandmother's bed. She pulled me out by one leg. Baby, this beating has traumatized me.
You still feeling it. I got my fingers burnt. They burnt me and my cousins. We was lighting matches, striking matches out my bedroom window and throwing them outside. We got our fingers burnt. Mm-hmm. They burnt our damn hands. Oh, you want to play with fire?
Yeah, my mother.
Oh, yeah, we got our fingertips burnt up, honey.
It's just like, it was the craziest. And then I went home, my mother said, oh, you want to play with fire? Mm-hmm. You want to play with fire? I said, no. And so my aunt said to me, every night, she would say, you remember when I beat your ass? She said, I pulled you by one leg from underneath that bed because you wanted to play with fire. I said, yeah, I remember. She said, I tore your ass up. I said, oh.
She must have felt good doing that because she sounded like she felt good doing that.
Sisters was tearing us up. They was tearing us up. I'm telling you. So, again, I don't play with fire. I don't play with matches.
Right.
I don't smoke. You know what I mean? Because I know what it is. I understand. I was punished for my wrongdoings, But the thing is to find a way to reach your children without, being so extreme.
Violent. Now, Gloria said she had to eat soap. Now, I remember if you cussed, you get some soap in your mouth. Do you remember that?
Yeah, now, I like soap. No. I used to cut the bar of dial.
Damn it,
I would cut it thin and I would eat it because I wanted always to see if it tastes like it smells. I did. And that wasn't a pregnancy thing. That was just something I did.
She said, that's why I can't stand Ivory soap.
I understand, Gloria. I understand. And then I used to like the old Irish Spring. When it was white, the classical.
So good,
oh my
right?
God! And now I was eating Dial. I was eating Irish Spring, and because the box was black.
Was just eating soap.
I was eating soap. I would cut it real thin, the other one was called Cashmere Bouquet because my grandmother always smelled like that. That's what she used to like to wash up in.
I remember that Cashmere Bouquet
because it
was in
smelled
the pink
like
box.
Yes, and she would. That was one of her favorite soaps. And I used to say, I wanted to see if it smelled.
Let me find out y'all out there eating soap. Jasmine talking about it was Dial for me. Really? Really? But you're out there eating soap.
That's
Let
right,
me find out.
Well, see, I'm not alone.
She gonna say, please don't tell me you eat toilet paper too.
No toilet paper.
That's Keisha talking about some you eat toilet paper.
No toilet paper.
She said Nana made me eat it. Yeah, I believe that. I believe it.
I'm telling you, we've been through some stuff like, it's fun. We can laugh at it
She said Gloria talking about her lips was fucked up because she broke out.
Oh, that's funny.
But listen, you ain't die. And DHS ain't come get you.
They
See,
sure
that's
enough
what I'm
did.
talking about. Because these kids today, see, I'm about to say something, but you know what? These kids need their ass with. Some of these kids need their ass with. Sorry. Especially, because you know if kids really need a spanking or not.
Yeah.
And some of these kids just, then they be like, well, your show promote violence. No, I don't. I promote discipline. The kids need to be disciplined. Some of these grown folks need their with.
Listen, for my nephews, I had thick rulers, and the kids, I would just pop the hell out of them with the ruler. I said, now, I done told you sit down too many times and stop, and you're not listening. So, child, they done found all the rulers. I still ain't found the rulers. Then one day, Fast said, that's why I hid all your rulers.
Oh, he told him. That Fast is something else. That's the one with the game.
That's his brother. That dude. I called him the other day. I said, dude, I haven't heard from you. He said, well, when did you call me? I said, I've been calling you for 2 weeks. Well, I didn't know. I said, I even text you. Oh, well, I didn't get it.
Oh,
just
lies.
Just lying.
If you would have texted him and said you were sending him some Robo-Blocks money, girl, he'd have got that message.
Do you understand?
What is it, Roblox?
I don't know. Or he said, did you go get my card yet? Did you go get it? So I told him, I said, you don't be you. You try to use me. You can't. I said, I got to put a stop to. No, I ain't asked you for nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yet.
Yes, go to school and hit you in front of the classroom. Those was the old school take. Yeah. The teachers used to crack. Listen, the teachers used to make you put your hands on the desk like this.
Yeah.
And take that ruler. And I know when I went to Catholic school, the nuns had the rulers taped together, like 3 of them. Mm-hmm. 3 rulers taped together, and you put your hand on the desk, and they take it and crack the side part too, not the flat part where it might feel good. They take the side and crack you straight across your damn hands. Okay, you knew not to play in Sister Mary Martha. You're not playing in Sister Mary Martha's class. Okay,
it was okay. Just, it was a different type, and it was a different time, and it's definitely. Some people experience some extremes. You're not talking about those who are abused, real abuse. That's different. But for those of us who grew up with some discipline, some structure, and, who got our tails whooped, and, we came out all right.
Yes.
Now, granted, some of us might need a therapist after a while, depending on how much we endured, how much stuff we suppressed.
On what you
but,
at home.
There were some valuable lessons in that stuff, because we weren't listening.
We was being hard-headed.
Yeah, we
and you know what they say, a hard head makes a soft. A hard head makes a soft behind. Is what my grandmother used to tell me.
That's what they say. And so I'm going to say this. I experienced something today. A friend of mine, a Facebook friend of mine, his girlfriend DM'd me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put this out there. Those of you in Facebook land, and if you are in a relationship, and thankfully, him and I are just platonic friends, and if you feel like you got to play detective and police him, his phone, his social media, then you shouldn't be with him. At the end of the day, stop reaching out to people because it makes you look delusional, it makes you look desperate, and it damn sure makes you look dumb. And it's really dumb when you think that you found something that you didn't find.
You need to be asking him.
And you should be asking him. But again, if you got to go through all that, and if you're suspecting stuff that's going on, then you shouldn't be with him. You shouldn't be with her. When I was seeing somebody and I was suspecting something was going on, I didn't go to his social media. I didn't go to his DM. I didn't do none of that. I simply said, Lord, reveal it, because I had confronted him.
Right.
And I said, Lord, reveal it. Within 7 days, something popped up on my social media. That was all the proof I needed. Mm-hmm. It hurt my heart.
But will come out. It'll come out.
It will come out. You don't go looking for it. You let it come to you. Let it show up to you. So, and he did apologize, but even still, and I told him, like, that's not good.
Right.
Because the insecurity is blaring. That thing is out here. You got to figure out, if you with somebody you can't trust,
then you probably shouldn't be there.
Then you shouldn't be there.
If you got to go searching on
And call my whole darn name. Call Dawn C. Baynes. And I'm like, yeah. I'm all confused because I don't know what's going on. I'm like, huh? Yeah.
She said C.
Dawn C. Baynes, and then if you looked at our messages and our DMs, it's a bunch of videos and laughing emojis, plain and simple, innocent conversations. But you feel like a fool, and you should. Only thing you said was, oh, okay, all right, thank you. And you caught me on a good day because you caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what. Y'all don't do that. Ladies, don't do that. Gentlemen, don't do that. Please. Think more of yourself and more highly of yourself than that. Now, apparently, you're his girlfriend, but he ain't your boyfriend.
Right.
So somewhere along the line is some lopsided stuff.
Somebody don't know what place they fit in.
Exactly.
In this situation.
Exactly.
Somebody don't know. Somebody doesn't know where they fit in at.
And as I said to him, like, good luck with that, because it damn sure wouldn't be me.
Especially when it's nothing. So you're just like every little thing.
Exactly. So if you picked me out, that meant you went through all of his messages. How many women or how many of his friends did you contact today?
Right.
Ain't nobody got time for all that.
Listen, people gonna do what they gonna do.
Let them do what they gonna do, and they will show you what they doing. They'll show you where they stand with you. At the end of the day, it's one person that got access to my phone. That can go through that, can see anything they want to see. You find something, you find something. You don't, you don't.
Right.
But hey, it is what it is.
Whatever the case is, you're going to get what you're looking for.
You don't go looking for stuff.
You might get what you're looking for. You might
don't
not.
go looking for stuff.
I mean, sometimes when you're looking for stuff, you get what you're looking for.
Yeah. But she didn't find it today with me.
Right.
I can't say with everybody else. But again, ladies, don't do this.
Maybe it taught her a lesson.
Don't do this to yourself because you're torturing yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to stay with them. You're going to cry and you're going to stay with them. You only do that stuff if you're going to leave. If you're looking for a reason to leave, pack your stuff and leave anyway. You don't look for to find out if it's another woman somewhere. Just go on and go. Go.
Because you don't want to go. Because you just don't want to believe it.
Exactly. And then when it's in front of your face and you got the proof, you're going to cry, you're going to get depressed and all that stuff, and you're going to be sitting right there.
Singing Mary J. Blige songs. I'm not going to cry.
And he going to look at you and say, I got it easy. I got it easy. So please.
Yes, you do. You live and you learn.
You
definitely
do this. Please don't do this to yourself.
Because see, what it is, it's actually a torture to yourself. Because no matter what, a person's going to do what they want to do, and they're only going to do to you what you allow them to do anyway. So really, you're in control of your own destiny. Whether somebody, is treating you a certain way. A lot of times, people treat you a certain way is because you allow yourself to be treated in that manner. And if you allow yourself to be treated that way, then sometimes people going to take, they're going to throw out enough rope to see how much you're going to catch. And so it's up to you to have the capacity to say, listen, this is not what I'm going for. I'm not going for this. And then you won't have to go in inboxes.
Exactly. And the person that has access to my phone, I ain't even in a relationship with them. You see what I'm saying? But that's somebody I trust that can go through my phone.
See, my phone is open because I ain't got nothing in there. If you want to look, you can look. But my thing is, I don't have to hide. I don't have anything to hide. So when you don't have anything to hide, you don't worry about stuff like that. It's only when you have things to hide. You know what I'm saying? So, but
ladies,
don't
either pick better mates or just find somebody you can trust. And if you can't trust them, just move on.
This is the thing. Love yourself more to know that you're worth more than you think you are.
And then
by
you
having
only
to
with
go
him
looking
because
through somebody else's phone.
You don't even really like him. You just want the companionship and you want the little Peter. You know what I mean? And then half the time you don't even really want to be bothered with giving them, with the Peter. So it's just the person. You just don't want to be alone. So, you got to figure you out. You're doing all this stuff. You tripping. Please go see a therapist. They online. Please. Work on you. It's all about you. When you do this stuff, you come across, it ain't even about him. You come across as crazy. You come across as desperate and delusional and dumb and stupid. You look like Boo Boo the Fool. Because you're doing all this stuff for somebody who's sitting back laughing at you. Say, okay, and then if you find something, you find something. You don't.
Right. Well, hopefully someone learned a good lesson today, because you go out there and you get exactly what you're looking for.
So
sometimes you make things out of something out of nothing.
So, and fellas, y'all just be careful, be mindful, of what you're doing in your DM. As they say, it goes down in the DM, but it didn't go down in this DM. Okay, it didn't go down in this DM.
Is that what they say?
As they say, it goes down in the DM, but it didn't go down in this DM. Just be mindful. You got some partners who out here who, if your lady
listen,
ain't
some of these
tight.
people on Facebook ain't never had no attention in their life. Now they on Facebook and they can look good from the pictures, and they just feel what they did, sowing their royal fucking oats. They trying to get everything they probably couldn't get back then. Now, if you find yourself with one of these, because it's a lot of people out here just inbox hopping to all different women. They ain't really got to give you too much information, and if you gullible enough, you'll fall right in, and you. I'm
thankful. I've always been selective.
Right, you have to be.
That I've always been selective, and anybody who has DM'd me, our DMs are our DMs. It's between me and that person. But and even if I was seeing somebody, you don't go through my stuff. I'm not gonna go through your phone, and you darn sure ain't gonna go through mine. I ain't got nothing to hide, but I don't want you going through my phone. But if you want to go through my phone, go ahead. You ain't going to find much of nothing, but go ahead. Because I'm the kind, if I'm seeing somebody, I'm going to tell you, I'm seeing somebody. I don't mix and mingle like that. I don't do the,
right. See, I feel like when you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship. So you don't have to be worrying about looking in my inbox or going there, because there's nothing going to be in there. That's the whole thing.
Some men are insecure just as well, as women are. But, the men mask it a little better than the women. The women, you get emotional. And you all up in your feelings, all caught up all in your emotions in your head, and you all messed up, and you out here making big mistakes, making casualties of the war that you fighting.
Right.
With people that you don't even know.
Don't do it to yourself, ladies.
Please, do better, ladies.
To yourself, ladies. So I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Libby. She says she's always looks forward to our broadcast when she can catch it. So thank you so much for watching. I like to thank all of you guys for watching and tuning in. We will not be on air next Monday. Sunday is my birthday. I'm going away and get me some peace time. So Monday. But you can still watch us on Glockerware Radio next Monday, because we'll have 2K on air, a past show. We love you. We thank you. And we will see you the first week